right, so time to learn, guys. Over this next segment, we are going to be going over some concepts of more on the psychology side of trading rather than the actual analysis side. First and foremost, routine. Routine is important because this helps you build your discipline. And without discipline in trading, you will never succeed. Discipline allows for proper risk management, proper execution, and pretty much not allowing you to trade emotionally. Um, when you trade emotionally, it only leads to bad things because at that point, it's like you're gambling. And when you're gambling, you're just throwing away money in the market. So, this is why we make a routine. Personally, what I do is I like to wake up early, go to the gym before I trade, or even if I can't make it to the gym before I trade, I like to maybe do some push-ups or sit-ups in my room just to get the mind going and be active and ready to analyze and execute. But yeah, this is going to be short segments throughout this phase one, is because it's not really teaching, but just going over little psychology concepts that will allow you to build the key skills you need to be profitable in trading. This video, we're going to be going over trade psychology and what that is. More or less, that's the mental and emotional aspect of day trading. This involves emotional control, discipline, patience, risk management, and confidence. Without proper trade psychology, you will never make it in the markets. Plain and simple. Successful trading is not only about analyzing the market, but also having good trade psychology. Um, Ways to kind of control this is having a routine, having discipline, having proper patience, having proper risk management, and having confidence in your model. Without confidence in your model, you're never going to want to execute on the confluences that you see. Um, so that's why it's good to back test. It's good to practice your model. Because it gets to a point where you back test your model so much, it shows you that uh, not only one is it consistent, two that it works, and three that when you see it, you know more or less you're gonna make money. So that's why you execute. Um, for a long time, I had terrible trade psychology, and I would overtrade and try to trade my losses back by mostly trading my entries, and that only led to me blowing countless amounts of funded and evaluation accounts. So definitely trade psychology is a key aspect of becoming profitable, and that's why I'm going over it. Next up, we have discipline and why that's important in trading. Discipline not only allows you to follow your rules, allows you to follow your model, not trade emotionally, and not revenge trade. Uh, Two big things that stops every trader from becoming profitable is one, revenge trading, and two, trading emotionally. Those are two of the same things. Um, but revenge trading is only when you lost a trade and now you're trying to win your money back that you lose, but you'll only end up losing more money because you're not following a model, you're following your emotions. And 9 times out of 10, your emotions will make you lose more money rather than make you money. Ways you can build your discipline is following a routine. That's why routine is important. Or what you can do is, let's say you do break your trading rules or you do break off from your routine, you punish yourself. What I what I used to do is when I would break my trade plan or revenge trade, I'd make myself run 3 miles, and I don't like running, so that really helped me follow my rules and not break them. And that was another key thing that helped me become profitable from being an emotional, revenge trading, unprofitable person. Definitely, discipline is one of the key things that will be the determining factor of whether you make it or break it in this field of work. I would even call it a field of work because it's like, it's a passion for me. And this is what's gonna give you that freedom that you are looking for, to not have to work that 9 to 5. And if you don't have discipline, uh, sorry to break it to you, but it's not gonna work for you. So start building it, because that is going to be definitely a key factor of whether you make it or not in this area. So build out a set list of what you want to do in the day. Like wake up at a certain time every day. Let's say you're waking up at 7 in the morning. Do that for a month straight. That helps you build discipline because you're putting yourself to that task. And if you don't do that, then you punish yourself, and that's what builds that discipline. Because you don't want to keep punishing yourself over and over and over again. You want to build the discipline to pretty much hone your skills. So that's why discipline is important. And on to the next one. So in this video, we're going to be going over why journaling is important, or what is journaling. Journaling consists of copying down the trades you take and reflecting on them. There's different ways you can do this. You can make like a notepad on your computer. You can open a Word doc and do it that way, or you could even write it down in a notebook and do it that way. How I did it personally, I made a Discord for myself, like my own server, and I made a channel that was dedicated to my trade entries and thought analysis and reflections. This is important because journaling is your set of data of why your trades either did work or didn't work, and your set of data on reflection on why you took that trade and why it worked, or why you took a trade and why it didn't work. Um, More or less, journaling is a factor that helps hold you accountable for all the trades you take. Because without accountability, you're gonna take a trade that didn't follow your trade plan, and that's just gonna set you up for failure. So it's always important to journal. Even as a profitable trader, I still journal every trade I take because it's data, and that's what trading is. It's repetition of data, and that's why we have a trade model, because we know that when X, Y, and Z happen, we get the alphabet, and that's what makes us money. So always journal your trades, even if you made a bad trade, journal it. Write down why you took it, or why you emotionally took it, and write down what could have gone differently or what you could have done differently to execute a better trade. Um, Overall, journaling is a key part of trading and making it in space. So journal every day. Even alongside from trading, you could journal just like what's been bothering you to get it out. Journaling helps with the stress that's involved in trading, and you can write down at the end of the day everything you accomplished, what you noticed in the markets, etc. So always journal, and always track down your data because that's important. On to the next. We're going to be going over why we do not trade emotionally. Um, Obviously, if you're trading emotionally, it's like you're gambling. And in the space of day trading, you cannot gamble because that only leads to maybe a lucky win, but more than likely a bad loss. A big thing with trading emotionally is when it comes down to it, let's say you lose a trade and you want to make your money back. That's greed. Greed is an emotion. So when we're trying to make that money back, we're not thinking straight because we are only thing on our mind is making back the money that we lost. So that clouds our judgment and makes us stray away from our model and take a trade that will more than likely lose because we're not following our model, we're not following confluences. Only thing we're following is our brain thinking that we're going to make the money back that we just lost. On top of that, emotionally trading can also involve you're in a winning trade and you don't close out because you want more. That's another clear emotion, which is greed. So that's why it's always good to set a target, set a profit goal on the day, and set a max trade amount that you can the max amount of trades you can take in a day. What I like to do is I like to take 2, 3 trades max a day, win or lose. Sometimes I'll even stop after one trade if I win it. And what I do personally is I try to target between $300 to $500 a day across my accounts. If I like how the trade is going and I believe it's gonna drop even lower, what I also do sometimes is I will move my stop loss to break even and let the trade just run through, because while it is good to close out a winning trade, you can always close out a trade too early that can result in you making less money. Um, that has a little bit to do with greed, but at the same time, when you back test a model for so long and you see the results, you just know what's gonna happen. It's like you're a scientist. You can predict that price is gonna keep moving down because we're hunting liquidity. And when we're hunting liquidity, price just goes to that target. So that's why it's important to trade emotionally, because when you trade emotionally, you're trading without proper judgment, and when you trade without proper judgment, you make bad trades. Plain and simple. And it's gonna go over why you should always follow your trade plan. Why that is important is because following your trade plan allows you to build consistency, allows you to build discipline in the markets, allows you to build trade psychology, and allows you to overall win. Um, why you shouldn't try to be a freestyle trader is because while yeah, you could learn 4 or 5 different models, um, you're going to pretty much trip over your own feet while you're trying to analyze. Because let's say you're trying to trade AMD, accumulation, manipulation, distribution, but also you've learned a heat seeker model or breaker structure model. It's just going to cloud what you're looking for and what confluences you're waiting to line up. That's why I only trade one model now. I used to try to be the guy that will learn all the models, so no matter what kind of day we had, I would see and I would be able to execute. But that only led to me blowing funded accounts because it just wouldn't work. Um, I've studied 4 or 5 models in my time trading, and the one I trade now is consists of a liquidity sweep, a breaker structure, and that price respects the confluences. It's clean, it's simple, it's straightforward, and that's what I've found to work best for me. And that's what I will treat you. That's what I'm going to teach you in this, is that model that I use, because that's the model that works. You can go on to learn a different model if you don't like my model, but that is your own choosing, and I can't guarantee the results from that because that's not the model that I use. The model I use, I can guarantee results, I can guarantee profitability, and I can guarantee you'll make money in the markets. And that's why you're watching this, because you need that help, and that's what I'm here for. Um, and that's why you always follow your trade plan, because when you follow your trade plan, you execute properly and you make money. Simple as that.